Story time, okay? So I'm gonna tell you about the time when I moved to Atlanta and I became homeless with my two children, okay? This is a prelude to the story of me having my brain surgery. So after I got out the hospital after having brain surgery, it just seemed like my whole world just shattered. It just came crumbling down, okay? It just fell apart. I felt like I had nobody. I felt like friends have abandoned me. My family abandoned me. That's how I felt, right? So I'm telling my story just not to get sympathy, not to get all poor baby, not to get all woe is me. No, not to get any of that. I'm just telling my story because there's somebody else that's always going to come after you, that's going to hear your story and do something different, take a different route, do something else. I wish I would have had, like people, older people in my life growing up that would have directed me more down, the path that the path of, like, okay, let me explain it more like this. I tell my children all the time, I give them the heads up. If you go outside and you're running, you might slip and fall. Okay, if you just cooked on the stove, you touch the stove, it might still be hot. I give them the heads up. If you go jogging and you run too fast, you can overexert yourself, you can hurt yourself, you can injure yourself, or you can hurt yourself. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I had nobody that gave me the heads up in life, like, don't do this or try not to do that. It was just do 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 do. But I don't blame anybody because I have made choices in my life that took me down those roads, right? But it's always good to have a little push or a little, hey, chill out, sit out somewhere, kind of encouragement behind you. But I say all that to say this. After I got out the hospital, after I had my brain surgery, everybody disappeared. The friends that I thought I had, they literally head to the hills. They headed to the hills. I mean, they turned around. They didn't. No, most of them took a knife before they turned around and stabbed me in my back. Most of them did that before they took off running. They stabbed me and then they all ran. All right, that's my feelings. That's how I felt, and my feelings are valid, right? So I remember I had about $3,000 in my pocket that I just saved and saved and saved, and we moved to Atlanta. But before we left, um, I had to be out of the apartment. I had to be out of there at a certain day, and there was one single person that offered me a place to stay. One single person, and me and my children stayed at her house for 2 nights, and then we got on the Greyhound and headed to Atlanta. But when we got to Atlanta, my plan in my head was get a job, get your place. First of all, with the $3,000, you got to get your place, get a job, da 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 da. Okay, going to Atlanta, I was getting government assistance at the time for my children, me and my children. So I had a few coins on their EBT card. You know what I'm saying? Yes, baby. So when I got there, that's what I was using to buy us food. But then that ran out really quick. So I had to start digging into the cash fund, right? So all this time we're staying in hotels, staying in hotels, staying in hotels. I remember one day I was on the bus and we were headed out to Walmart, and we got to Walmart and we met this lady. I met this woman and she talked to me. She was like an angel, okay? She just started talking to me out of the blue. I'm like, I don't even know who this lady is. I forgot this lady's name. She gave me her number. That phone, I don't even know where that phone is right now, where I got her number. It's a totally different phone number I had. But she told me, I lived in New York, I became homeless in New York, and now I'm here in Atlanta and I'm living with a friend and this and that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here from Texas and I'm in the hotel with my kids right now, but money's running low, and she's like, oh, okay, I understand, So I talked to this lady on the phone. She told me, call me, talk to me. So in Atlanta, she like literally became my connection. It was so weird. But I remember when we got to Atlanta, we met this African man, and he was driving a taxi cab. He drove us for free, took us to the hotel for free. The next day, I had to go and put money on my card so I could use my debit card. This was one of them little pay things, little pay cards. So I had to go to Walgreens. I get to Walgreens, and this guy, he just starts talking to me. And he's a young guy. I remember his name is Eddie. And I started talking to Eddie, and we became friends. Once again, he told me he was down here going to school in the college, and and I'm thinking, this he's so mature. Later on, days later is when I found out he was only like 25 years old, but he was such a nice guy. And come to find out, Eddie told me that he lived over off of Homestead. I'm like, what? Homestead? No way, bro, right down the street, And we were talking, and and I expressed to him that I'm about to run out of money, and me and my kids don't have anywhere to go. And he was just like, okay, well, I wish I could let you guys come stay the night at my dorm. You guys can come. I'll let you guys stay there for the night, but you have to go because I can't have people in my dorm. So after about a night or two, you guys would have to go. And Eddie was my angel. Eddie and the other lady on the bus was my angel. They were my angel, okay? And the taxi cab driver. So one day, this is at the end of us trying to stay in the hotel, and my money's running down. So I leave my kids at the hotel, and I'm like, do not answer the door. I've never in my life left my kids alone, ever. Never left them alone. This one time, I left them alone in the hotel, and I get on the bus and I go because the lady that I met in Walmart told me that I could go to the homeless shelter, and they always let women and kids in. They'll let the women and kids in. But in Atlanta, it's a little different, right? So I go to the shelter, and there is no help for women and children there. Everybody else can get help, but sorry, sis. So the person in the shelter, I sit there for about 2 or 3 hours, and the person in the shelter says, oh, well, we don't have no room, but what you can do is, you see all those people laying outside, sitting outside with their blankets and their tents and their stuff, you go sit out there with them, and you're going to be first pick if any room comes up available, because you're a woman with children, right? And so I'm like, okay, so I got to go sit on the sidewalk with the other people and wait to see if they will choose me to go in the shelter. But they're just telling me that the shelter is full. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, the shelter is full. So what chances do I have to get in? And I already see people out there with their children. So I get on the phone, and I'm like, at my lowest point now, I'm desperate. So I get on the phone, and I'm like, I haven't spoken to any of my people, any of my family, my relatives, nobody. I haven't spoken to anybody. And nobody has called my phone. Nobody has checked on me and my kids or anything. And so I'm just like, okay, that means that you're doing this on your own, sis. You roll out. You got to do you now, right? So I call my sister, and I'm like, hey, I was just wondering, can you cash out me some money so I could get another room, because my money's running low, and I don't have any money. And, she's like, oh, I ain't got nothing. I ain't got it. I said, well, maybe I could ask one of my people, somebody that you might know. Oh, no, they ain't got nothing. They can't help you. They got their own bills to take care of, baby. No, they can't help you. I said, oh, what has happened here? So now, mind you, how much lower can you go, right? How much lower can you go? You're about to be homeless with your kids. You calling your family, and your family saying, no, please and thank you. I can't help you. I ain't got nothing for you. Now, I'm not looking for people to run up and have my back, or I'm not looking for any of that, but I tend to treat people the way how they treat me. Now, my door has always been open for any of my family members, anybody. So it was so heartbreaking for me to ask and just be thrown to the side when I see how my family treats pure strangers on the street, right? So I'm just like, oh boy, okay. So I can't depend on that. So let me figure something out, right? So I'm like, okay, going from shelter, I went to another shelter to go ask them about it. They were like, we can't help you, but you and your kids can come here and have some dinner tonight. When we're having dinner, y'all could come through and come eat something. So I'm like, okay. So I go back to the hotel, and I tell my kids, boom, we gotta go. I go down. This is another angel. I go down to the front desk, and I talk to the girl down there, and I'm telling her, I gotta go. I can't stay. I don't have the money to. And she's like, well, just one more night. One more night, you can't do it. Mind you, I relocated from one hotel to another that was like an hour away because of the different rates. One was a lower price, but the one I got second was in a nicer spot. The first hotel I was at, it smelled like cigarette in there. I saw prostitutes walking around. And it's funny because years later, after I got back here to Houston, a couple years later, I'm watching YouTube, me and my sister, and we see the exact same hotel, Red Roof Inn, where me and my children stayed, the exact same hotel. And the hotel is known for prostitution and drugs and all of that. And I'm like, wow, I survived that. Me and my kids, we survived that. I would smell it. I would smell the weed. I would smell the cigarettes. I would see the prostitutes. But I guess I didn't put that in my head because my mind wasn't even there. All I was thinking about was my next move, my next move, my next move, my kids, keep them safe. Where I am, they are. Where I am, they are. That was my only thing I was thinking about. But when we got to the nicer hotel, I was like, okay, this is nice. It reminded me of Houston a lot. You know, it's okay, mama. Come on. It reminded me of Houston, so I was like, oh yeah, I like this. I like this. So it was better over there. We was at a travel lodge over there. And but let me get back to my story. So I remember that the last day I rode the bus by myself. I got on the bus and the bus driver said, no, it was all three of us. This was the last day when I told them we had to leave. I told my kids we had to leave the hotel. So we got on the bus and just say like the fee for the bus ride was like $3.75. So I had a couple dollars, and I had a bunch of coins, and I had one big shiny silver dollar. And I remember telling the bus driver, I don't have any dollars. I just have this big one, and it won't go into the coin change machine thing that he had on the bus. And I had these dollars, and so he was like, okay. He was just like, okay, just give me the coin, the shiny one, and I'll put my dollar in for you. So I said, okay. So I just gave him my big shiny one. I told him, this is my lucky dollar. I've been having it for so long. I've been having it for years, and but I'll just give it to you. Was it $1? It was $1, a big shiny dollar. And I'll never forget. That day was so weird, okay? It was so crazy because that day, no, okay, wait. Let me go back. It was the day that I was by myself. The day I was by myself is when this happened. I'm putting two stories together, okay? So the day I was by myself is when I gave the bus driver the shiny coin, right? And I'm in Atlanta. It looks kind of like New York a lot. The lady I met said Atlanta is just like a baby New York. That's all it is. It's a baby New York. So they have trains down below. They have trains and things. And so I had to walk from the top of where the buses were, and I had to go down to where the trains are to catch the train to take me where I need to go. So as I'm walking down there, I hear somebody say, Tanya. And I look around, and it's my brother. It's one of my big brothers. Because I have, how many big brothers I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 big brothers. It was one of my brothers. And I'm like, what the heck? What are the odds of this, bro? I escaped to Atlanta, literally to get away from my family, literally. And they find me. And he's like, he didn't say anything like, how are you? How is everything going? How are the kids? He said, where are the kids? And I said, in the hotel. And he said, oh, okay. And that was it. I went down, got on the train. I didn't see where he disappeared to, but it was so weird that I didn't even get what are you doing here? Where are the kids at? What are you doing here? Why are you not in Texas? If I would have seen one of my siblings anywhere but Texas, I would have been baffled, okay? I would have been a loss for words. If I would have went to Atlanta and seen one of my siblings in Atlanta, I would have been like, what the heck are you doing here? No. He just said, where are the kids? At the hotel. Okay. He walked away. I walked away. In amazement. I was shocked. I mean, what else did I expect? What else did I expect? What else did I want? What was the response that I wanted? I guess I wanted the response of, are you okay? Are you okay? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Do you need help? Do you need money? Do you need food? What do you need? That was what I expected, but I didn't get that. Right? So after that, I went down to the bus, and the second time, this was the day before the end, okay? So the last to the second day is when I left my kids, and that happened, and I saw my brother, and he said, where are the kids? And so the last day we was at the hotel, Me and my kids, we was down to the last of our money. That's when the bus driver was like, okay, give me your shiny coin and I'll give you the dollar bill to put in the machine. So we walk out the bus and we go down to get on the train. And as we go down to get on the train, the bus driver runs up. And I'm wondering, why the heck is he running up? Did I leave something on the bus? This man comes back and he says, here's your shiny coin. I don't want it. It's your lucky coin. I already paid for that bus fare. You can have your coin back. And I was just, at that time, it didn't dawn on me because I was so baffled about life and what life was doing and how life was lifing for me. I was in a zone. I was zoned out, Even my kids, even their dad, he called. He was the only person they called. The only one they called and said, what are you doing? Where you at? I saw your post on Facebook and it said you're in Atlanta. What are you doing in Atlanta? How are the kids? What happened? He was the only person they called, as he should. Those are his children, right? Yes. But so we go to the shelter and they give us a meal and we sit there and we eat. But then we go back to as we're sitting at the shelter, I called the lady that I met at Walmart and she told me, I told her, we can't go back to the hotel. I don't have any money to pay. She said, this is what you can do. I've done it before. And I know people that's done it. Go to the airport. Go to the airport, find a restaurant. That airport I think is the world's largest airport, if I'm not mistaken. I think the airport in Atlanta is the largest airport in America, at least. And that airport is like 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 malls put together. I mean, eatery places. I mean, everything is in that mall, right? So she said, go in the airport and sleep, you and your kids. You'll be safe. Because she also told me there's this place downtown in Atlanta, over there off of Peachtree, that you could go to and they'll help you get back to Houston. But you got to be there at 5 a.m. to get in the line. But go to the airport and sleep at the airport, you and your kids. And go make sure you get back downtown by 5 to get in that line. Because sometimes the line goes really fast. Okay? So me and my kids, we head off. We get on the bus. Then we get on the train. And we get to the airport. And we sit in IHOP. And we're sitting in IHOP. And I have about $5. Okay? And we're in IHOP, and the airport is lit, okay? It's alive like it's in the daytime, but this is the night, okay? There were so many people that came to my rescue while I was in Atlanta, okay? So many people. And when I look back, I know that God sent all those people to help me and my children, And I am so lucky and grateful that I even took that step, that leap to go to Atlanta, because even though it was a situation like that, my kids got to experience something other than Texas, other than Houston, and when I talk to them about it now, they don't even realize what was happening when we was in Atlanta. They thought we were on vacation. I took my son to Bojangles. He told me, Mom, when we get to Atlanta, Bojangles is there in Atlanta. We're going to go there. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And I'm just like, they thought it was like a literal vacation, and I'm so happy that it didn't really affect them as much as it affected me, trying to guard them and protect them. So back to the story. So we get to the airport and we're there all night. And all I could order was French fries for my kids. So I ordered an order of French fries. And the guy, he brings it over. He's so nice, the waiter. He brings it over. Uriah, he falls asleep on a suitcase that's just there, one of our suitcases. And Ariel, she's trying to fight sleep and trying to stay up with me to protect Mom. And I'm just like, no, go to sleep. Take your nap. But the guy brings us our French fries and they eat. And Uriah goes to sleep. And he brings, he tells me how much it cost. And I'm just like, okay. And he said, you know what, ma'am? Don't worry about it. It's on the house. Do you need more? Do you need more French fries? It's on the house. And I'm just like, wow, okay. At that time, it's still not sinking in everything that's going on. All I'm thinking is, let's do this. My thought was never that I was homeless and I was in a bad situation. My thought was, let's ride it out. Let's ride it out. I never one time did it cross my mind, you're done, you're down, you're out, count it out, you're done, you're done. Never. Never. And it still has not. Even though right now, this moment, I am not where I would prefer to be, I am still never counting myself out. Never. Never. Even being in the hospital for 3 months, it never dawned on me to count myself out. It never dawned on me to throw in the towel and say you're done. Never, and keeping that positive mindset, I feel like it's pushed me and got me to where I am now. Even though, like I said, I'm not a billionaire, I'm not a thousandaire, I am happy and pleased with my living. I am happy to be here, baby, because there was some times when I could have been anywhere else. I saw them moms in Atlanta walking around with their babies. I saw them. I got in the line that morning. Me, Ariel, and Uriah, we woke up bright and early at that airport. I didn't even sleep. I stayed up all night. We got on that train about 4 o'clock in the morning. That train took us down the street. We got off of there and got on a bus, okay? When we got on the bus, it took us to literally Peachtree. Like you be seeing on Atlanta Housewives. And yeah, what's the name of the street? Peachtree Street? Literally right there. It took us. There's a building right there, okay? And we got out there and we stood there and there was no line. No line. Absolutely no line. Next thing I know, there's this girl walking up. She walks up and she has a little baby. The baby is about 8 months old. And she's like, are you guys here waiting in the line to get help? And I'm like, yeah, we're here. And me and her, we just started talking. And she's like, yeah, I'm from New York. And I moved down here, me and my baby. And I was at the shelter, but I worked at McDonald's. And because I was getting off of work too late to get my baby from the daycare at the shelter, they kicked me and my baby out. After like 3 times, I think she got late, and they put her and her baby out. But her thing is, she had a car. She actually left New York with a car, so the shelter didn't hesitate to put her and her baby out because they were like, you got shelter. So me and her standing there talking, and she's telling me the diaper that the baby has on is the last diaper it has, and I'm just like, okay, wait. I got a couple dollars here in dollars, and I got a couple dollars on this debit card that I had put on there. Let's walk across the street and go to Walgreens and go buy this baby some diapers. We get over there and buy that little baby the cheapest pack of diapers I ever seen in my life, okay? So the baby's diaper was soaky, so oh my goodness. And she was too cute. She was so adorable, so adorable. So we get upstairs, we get in the building, and we get up there. And mind you, my kids are exhausted. I'm exhausted. This girl is there with her baby. And they do the same routine, when you need help, come on, we'll help you. But you gotta follow these rules, follow these orders that we give you. So I get in there and they're like, okay, what are you doing down here? And I said, well, I moved here. And they're like, well, why did you move here? I said, I was trying to give my kids a different scenery. I was trying to do something different with my life. All I know is Texas. And the lady's like, okay, so if you go back to Texas, who's there to help you? Who's there that you can stay with? And I said, first person that came to my mind was my brother Sidney. First person that came to my mind was him. Okay, so I told her, Sidney. So she said, okay, call him. Give us his number. We're going to call him. So they called Sidney, and Sidney's like, yep, I don't know what he told them, but that lady called me in that office and was like, okay, Miss Young, we're going to buy you 3 bus tickets, Greyhound tickets for you to go back to Texas, go back to Houston, and you're going to stay with your brother Sidney. Okay, fine. So I'm just sitting there, and it's still not sinking in because I'm just like, okay. I'm just like, like in my mind, I'm like, okay, I know God got me. I knew he was gonna get the tickets. It didn't even dawn on me that you might not get it. No. I never had that thought in my head. I just knew that we was gonna get the tickets. But then when the girl and her baby went up front to go talk to the people, that lady was like, we can't help you. And she was like, but why? I have a little baby. And that lady's like, because that lady over there don't have a car. You have a car. You have shelter for you and your baby to sleep in. You have somewhere for y'all to be. They don't. So that's why we're helping them. It was too sad. It was so sad. It was so sad. But at the same time, I was ready. So she called me up front and she gave me a stack of little cards, a stack of gift cards, a stack of them like $200 worth of gift cards. And she said, okay, we're going to buy your bus tickets. Okay, go down to the Greyhound. get your bus tickets. Your bus tickets, they're leaving at 3 o'clock. Okay, if you're not on that bus at 3, we're not buying you another ticket. So this stack of cards, you and your kids go to McDonald's and get y'all something to eat. And you can use these cards at any McDonald's. I went to McDonald's and I bought food for us to sit there and eat. My kids didn't have a clue, and I'm over here like, because I'm not that person to be stressing out, right? I've never been that person to stress out or wonder how something's gonna happen. I just know it's gonna happen. I just know. I always just know. I don't stress out about things. Okay, so we're out here. Okay, so you need new shoes. Okay, so the car need gas. Okay, the car need gas. All right, what am I going to stress about? What am I going to worry about? I've never been that person, right? So we sit at McDonald's and we eat, and I'm like, let's go. We got to go sit at Greyhound. It don't matter. I bought us a bunch of food for us to carry on the bus with us, and we got on that bus at 3 o'clock and we headed back to Texas. Now, when we got back to Texas, it was a different story. A different story. It was crazy. My little brother was actually homeless himself. But he always had a cell phone. My little brother Sidney was homeless himself, living in his truck. And he had a friend, and she had a hotel room. So when we got back, he picked us up from the Greyhound, but he took us straight to the hotel where his friend was staying. So we stayed in that hotel, me and my kids and his friend and him, all 5 of us, in a little bitty ass hotel room right there off of Beltway by Westheimer. I'll never forget. It was a time. But then we left that hotel, and I called my play cousin. I said, girl, we gotta go. We gotta leave this hotel. We gotta find somewhere else. I gotta go somewhere else. And she said, come with me. I went with her. And when I got with her, another situation happened. Her leasing office noticed that me and my children was going in and out of her apartment. Yes. So the leasing office said, hey, you get them out of there or you get out of there. So my play cousin said, girl, you got to go cause I can't go. I got children. I got a whole children. I said, hey, it is what it is. And that's when, the day of my birthday, August 24th, I called my big sister and I said, hey, can you please allow me and my children to come stay at your house until I get on my feet? I didn't have to say it twice. She said, come on. And in about an hour, we were packed up and at my sister's house. Life since then has been some funny acting ways, boy. When I tell you life be lifing. Okay? Life be lifing. Life be lifing, but you live and you learn, right? And you never give up. You never give up. And you know, life will take you back around in some circles, not because life is being harsh on you. It's because you need to learn something. You need to learn something, right? You need to learn something. And I lived at my sister's house for about 5 years. Me and my children, I lived here and worked, got me a car, did this, did that. And moved out. I moved out. And when I moved out, life said, you gonna try this again? Let's see what you're gonna do this time. And made some choices. Allowed some people to come in my space. Allowed some things to happen. I did it. I allowed it, right? I allowed it. So I'm back in my sister's because life has to teach me a lesson. I have to learn a lesson. And I can almost guarantee you that I'm going to always come out shining like gold. For real. Because I don't give up. Where I'm at says nothing about where I'm about to be. What I'm doing right now says nothing about the great things that I'm about to do. Where I've been says nothing about where I am going, right? So life be lifing when I tell you. Like I said, I've been in the valley, baby. I've been down there. But I refuse to stay down there, right? I refuse. That's what you have to do. You got to refuse to stay down there. And even though, like I said, I'm going to quit saying it. I'm going to quit saying it. I'm not a quadrillionaire, but I am rich with life. I am happy about life. And I am pleased about life. And I'm grateful about life because I know where I was. I know where I was. And I know that people are literally sent in your life a lot of times to teach you something. No, all the time. People are sent in your life to teach you something. Literally, you reflect, right? You reflect. You're a reflection with the people around you. You're looking in the mirror, right? So that means that if you're getting that kind of treatment, you have to look back at yourself and saying, what am I doing? How am I acting? What can I do better, right? You're just reflecting the people that you meet and the people that you come across. And one thing that I've learned about life is them bridges, baby. You don't burn them. Because one day, something's going to come chasing you from that side and you're going to have to run back over that way. You're going to have to run back across that bridge. So don't burn it. Don't burn it, because if you burn it, baby, you better learn how to swim. And I for damn sure don't know how to swim. I ain't burning no bridges. And I'm thankful for all my lessons that I've been through in my life. All my lessons that I'm still learning as a 50-year-old woman. I'm still learning. And I blame nobody or no thing but myself because of choices that I make and choices that I've made in my life. You know, so I say all that to say this. Don't forget where you've been. Don't forget where you've been, because when you get where you're going, somebody's going to be there that needs your help, that you need to tell about this story right here. You're going to need to tell somebody this story right here. So don't forget that story and don't forget where you've been. Life is lifing all the time, and I am grateful for it. Life with me, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it. That's how you know you're alive, baby. That's how you know you're alive. When life is life in you. Life is life in you. And all these angels and all these people that come into your life to make it better and to show you different ways and different paths, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing. Because looking back to Atlanta, all the people that I met, I would have never thought that God was even looking out for me or trying to protect me, but everybody that I made played a vital role in me coming back to Texas safely. Okay. Don't ever give up on yourself, and don't ever give up on you. Don't ever give up on you. Even if everybody else around you gives up on you, don't ever give up on you. Okay? Never. Never. My mama used to always say, you know, I got kids just like they got kids. I don't want nobody to mistreat my kids. So why you want to mistreat somebody else's kids? Or don't mistreat nobody if you don't want to be mistreated? Yeah, don't. Because guess what? People grow up. These babies grow up. My babies grow up. You know, everybody else's kids, their babies grow up. And you might not always be there. But everybody else around you might. Somebody else around you might be there to help you, to take care of your children, right? Somebody else will be there to help you. Somebody else is always there to help you. Take care of your children. So don't be burning no bridges. Don't be looking around trying to figure out something. You ain't got to do the most. You ain't got to do the most. Just be good in your heart. Stay focused. Know what you want to do. Know where you want to go. And everything else will follow you. I promise you. Them dark days don't last forever. Them dark days do not last forever. 1 minute is raining, the next minute the sun is shining, all right? Them days don't last forever. Take it from me, baby. Take it from me. Take it from me. And that's my story. And only I can tell it.